It is time to head back to the land of absurdly long straights, medieval castles, and the kind of chaos that makes you wonder if the FIA built this track just for the memes.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
Welcome to Baku, home of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you have been following Formula 1 for more than 5 minutes, you'll know that this race is never boring. Baku has one of the best reputations for turning Sunday into complete and utter madness. And I mean that in the best way possible. So let's get into it. First, let's rewind a little bit. Azerbaijan joined the Formula 1 calendar in 2016 as the European Grand Prix, which to me is a little bit weird because Azerbaijan is one of those countries that is divided in between Europe and Asia, so having it represent only one of the continents, I personally find a little bit weird, but to each their own. But the following year, it officially became the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and since the beginning, it has been complete chaos. We had Daniel Ricciardo's triple overtake in 2017.
Bottas is getting sorted out by the pack, and down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo. What a move from the Australian!
We had Vettel wheel bumping into Hamilton during a safety car after Hamilton brake tested him.
Lewis is backing up the pack a little bit, and he went into him. He might have lost a bit of front wing there, Sebastian Vettel, and he's saying to Hamilton, "What did you do?"
We had the heartbreaking moment when Bottas got a puncture 3 laps before the end of the race that he was leading in 2018.
Something has fallen off a car, it looks like. That is just tragic.
And that same year, we had a chaotic double DNF from Red Bull after Ricciardo and Verstappen thought the main straight was a great place to have a car demolition. Is it terrible of me to hope that the same thing will happen to the McLarens this year? No injuries involved, both McLaren drivers coming out unscathed, but you know, a double DNF to spice things up a little bit on the podium. And of course, last year's race, 2024, was not free of chaos either, because we had a crash between Carlos Sainz and Checo Perez in the penultimate lap of the race. Mind you, they were fighting for 3rd place on the podium.
And Sainz gets up into the podium places, but now Perez coming back, and there's contact between Perez and Sainz into the wall. Disaster for Ferrari and Red Bull.
In short, if you're only going to watch one race in the Formula 1 season hoping for drama, Baku is quite a safe bet. But let's take a quick look at the track, shall we? The track is 6 kilometers long with a total of 20 turns, which is quite a lot compared to our last few races. And the race itself covers around 306 kilometers in 51 laps. The layout of this track is actually really interesting because the corners are quite sharp compared to the corners in most other tracks. Most of them are 90 degrees or less, and there's a lot of late braking, which sometimes ends in catastrophe. This track also holds the longest straight in the Formula 1 calendar, 2.2 kilometers long, between turns 20 and 1, which is the main straight. And it also holds the tightest piece of circuit in the calendar at turn 15, which you might recognize as Charles Leclerc's I am stupid corner. This track is very technical and requires a lot of precision. The easiest places to overtake are the main straights, turn 1 coming off the main straights, which is also a place where we have a very big likelihood of a car pileup in lap 1, and turn 3 coming off the 2nd straight. The rest of the track is more about personal survival than anything else. Nico Rosberg, the Monaco-based YouTuber who also happens to be a Formula 1 champion and the first person to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, actually said that in most corners you're not really thinking about the other drivers, but calculating whether you're even going to make the corner in the first place. Safe to say this is a really interesting track, and if the post-summer races are anything to go by, we are looking at a really good weekend. A fun fact about this race is that when I was doing the research for this video, I discovered that the 2026 Azerbaijan Grand Prix is going to take place on a Saturday. This is so that the race will not clash with Azerbaijan's Remembrance Day, and so the entire weekend is shifted. We will have Media Day on Wednesday, Thursday will be free practice 1 and 2, Friday free practice 3 and qualifying, and Saturday the race. Which is, you know, interesting. But again, this is all next year. But let's talk about this year, shall we? I have discovered that none of the weather apps agree with each other. Some say there's going to be light rains the entire weekend, others say there's going to be a thunderstorm on Sunday, and another said that there's going to be light rain on Friday and Saturday and sunny on Sunday. In conclusion, I hate weather apps, and we will see what happens when the weekend comes. What we can take a look at is our podium predictions. For third place, I went with Charles Leclerc. For second place, Lando Norris. And first place, Oscar Piastri, who actually won the race last year, and it is very possible for him to win it again, unless we have a McLaren DNF. ChatGPT went for Max Verstappen in third place, second place Lando Norris, and first place Oscar Piastri. And Gemini went for third place Lando Norris, second place Charles Leclerc, and first place Oscar Piastri. This weekend's predictions are a little bit boring, if not basic. We all went for the same winner, which is Oscar Piastri, but I'm hoping for some sort of a twist, something interesting to happen to sort of blow everything up. And I was looking back at my 2025 bingo predictions to see what I was missing, and if you had told me at the beginning of the year we would get a Sauber podium before Williams podium, I would have not believed you. But here we are. So I decided to pick a few of the predictions to hope that they will come true this weekend, and those are a third red flag during a race specifically. The previous two red flags that we had happened in the first lap of the race, which made it not so interesting as I hoped they would be. I'm hoping for a mid-race red flag, but if not, I'll take any red flag you give me during a race. And speaking of Williams, I am hoping for a Williams podium, which I know clashes completely with my podium predictions, but I want to be surprised. And Williams is not doing great this season, but they're also not doing terrible compared to last year. Actually, Baku was probably their best race of the season. Alex Albon and Franco Colapinto ended 7th and 8th last year, and even if the crash between Carlos and Checo didn't happen, they still would have ended with a double Williams points, which in last year's measures is incredible. And given that they are actually performing a lot better than last year, I am hoping for a Williams podium in this race, because if it doesn't happen in Baku, I don't think it's gonna happen. But even if it happens or not, let's all buckle up, because Azerbaijan never disappoints. And this is the race where strategy goes out the window and survival becomes an art form. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments your wild predictions for this weekend, as well as your podium predictions. And as always, thank you for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all after the race.